Former President Donald Trump reacts to the news he's been removed from the Colorado ballot. The state of California is now suing to have Trump removed in their state as well. Biden says Trump is definitely guilty of insurrection and will allow courts to decide his fate, even though no court has found him guilty of insurrection crimes. And Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida makes one of his dumbest comments about Trump yet. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. Earlier today, I interviewed Roger Stone. He gave some incredible insight on the 2024 election and also on Joe Biden. I'll link it at the end of this video. After months of back and forth, the Biden administration has finally auctioned off drilling rights on 1.7 million acres of land in the Gulf of Mexico. Even though the auction was mandated in the Inflation Reduction Act, it didn't stop Joe Biden from trying to shrink the sale in the name of saving endangered species. In the end, the court sided with the oil companies as they failed to prove that their drilling would kill any species at all. This could be the last big win for oil and reducing gas prices until 2025, as Biden won't be doing any more auctions until he either loses or wins the election. The ACLU has sued Texas Governor Greg Abbott for trying to stop illegal immigrants from entering the country. If they win, the worry is that even more will come to the southern border because as of right now, there is nothing to deter people from coming, and in fact, they're getting money and housing and lawyers and food and cell phone, so why not come, right? Former President Donald Trump has finally reacted to Colorado's decision to remove him from the ballot due to their interpretation of the 14th Amendment, calling it a sad day for America. Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy led the charge against this move by vowing to withdraw himself from Colorado's ballot in protest. He called the move absurd and stated the framers of the 14th Amendment would be appalled to see this narrow provision intended to bar former U.S. officials who switched to the Confederacy from seeking public office, being weaponized by a sitting president and his political allies to prevent a former president from seeking re-election. While most of Trump's competition sided with him on this historic decision, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis took a different approach. DeSantis argued that the left is trying to remove him from the ballot so that Trump will win the Republican primary. Now, I don't know if DeSantis got the memo, but Trump doesn't need any help beating you. You're already losing by like a lot, right? So why would the left or the deep state or anybody try to remove you so that Trump will win? He's already beating you, right? Pretty wild. But you know something is off when Christie, who hates Donald Trump and has built his entire presidential campaign on removing Trump, comes to Trump's aid and says, this Colorado decision is unlawful and ridiculous. Now, in a rare move, President Joe Biden also issued his thoughts on the situation, and he sided with the Colorado courts. In response to a reporter asking if Trump is an insurrectionist, Biden stated, I think it's self-evident. Whether the 14th Amendment applies, we'll let the court make that decision, but he certainly supported an insurrection. No question about it. None. Zero. Now, if anything, I believe this move was meant to hurt Trump, but it looks like it might help him. Either way, it doesn't matter if he loses Colorado because he lost it the last 2 times. But what does matter is this weaponization? Is this election interference? Is this the lawfare where the law is being used against a political opponent? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, keep in mind, Donald Trump has not been convicted of a January 6 crime, and the Supreme Court justices of Colorado admitted they relied on left-leaning news reports and the January 6 Select Committee, which we know for a fact manipulated evidence and cherry-picked video footage in order to push forward a narrative. Now, that example has been set in Colorado. California's Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Konakis, is rushing to see if she can remove Donald Trump from the ballot in California. Just one day after the controversial decision, she sent a letter to Secretary of State and asked her to explore every legal option they have to remove Donald Trump. In the letter, Konakis stated, "The Constitution is clear. You must be 40 years old and not be an insurrectionist." Well, Trump is over the age of 40 and has not been convicted of any insurrection crimes. I'm not trying to defend Donald Trump. I thought January 6th was horrible. I'm just stating the truth. He has not been convicted of an insurrection crime. Now, I looked at both sides of the argument, and truthfully, I don't believe the 14th Amendment applies here, but I'm just a YouTuber, so I'm going to turn to Harvard lawyer expert Alan Dershowitz, who discussed this topic. During an interview on Newsmax, Dershowitz stated, if you want to impeach a president, if you want to make him not able to run in the future, there's an impeachment provision. It requires a 2/3 vote of the Senate. But the idea that the framers of the 14th Amendment intended to circumvent that carefully drawn provision and simply allow any state to make up grounds for denying him the right to be on the ballot undercuts democracy. So what's next? Colorado's decision will move up to the U.S. Supreme Court, where Dershowitz has already predicted it will be easily overturned. So Colorado and California and others, they're already wasting their time. And states like Michigan had their Supreme Court say, of course he belongs on the ballot. The people will decide whether Trump is president or not. Now, just a year ago, the idea that DeSantis could surpass Trump was taken seriously. In fact, at one point, he was beating Trump. But now it doesn't look like he'll even beat Nikki Haley. According to a new poll released by Quinnipiac University, Nikki Haley and DeSantis are now tied at 11% support each. In my opinion, DeSantis has essentially ruined his chances of becoming president, as Trump's fan base has turned on him. Now, even though Vivek has 4%, many Republicans like Vivek, and a lot of MAGA Republicans love Vivek because he does not badmouth them. So we'll see what ends up happening. Maybe he'll run in 2028, or maybe he'll be Trump's vice president, first pick. Now, the White House has just claimed that the new AntiTrust Rule will help fight inflation. After Google was forced to pay $700 million to settle anti-competitive claims with states, the White House economist Lael Brainerd stated, "Today's release is an important step to lower costs for consumers, ensure a level playing field for small businesses, and ensure antitrust enforcement is fit for purposes in today's economy." In my opinion, this is good news, but it's going to do nothing. You think small businesses can compete against Google? Google gets government contracts in the billions and billions of dollars. Google dominates video search and online search. They're not going anywhere. $700 million is literally a fart in the wind when it comes to Google's income. Now, as Joe Biden rushes to get Ukraine more of our taxpayer money, Ukraine General Oleksandr Tarvansky has claimed their operations have gotten smaller as a result in a drop in foreign military aid, or the fact that your people are being killed every single day. However, Ukrainian president seems confident more help will be on the way, as he just stated that they could mobilize another 500,000 troops. But before he makes a decision, he stated that he awaits concrete information that on what will happen with the 1 million military of Ukraine. This guy is up in the night. They don't have 500,000 people. They certainly don't have another million able-bodied men and women that want to go and fight against Vladimir Putin and the Russian Federation army. He's basically marching his country into the ground, and young people are fighting old people's war so that old people can get rich off the backs of young people. It's disgusting and despicable. All right, now, assuming they get more ammunition, Zelensky's main issue right now is manpower. Russia just put even more pressure on Ukraine with their recent draft of 130,000 additional troops. Now, I hate this war. I think everyone knows it's a stalemate, which means America is wasting money and Ukraine is wasting lives. I hope that they will push for negotiations soon. Now, that's my update for today. As I know more, I will come on and share more with you. Before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. I really, really believe that. I hope you do too. Hey, thanks for stopping by, being subscribed to the channel, and giving this video a like. If you're not subscribed, please, I'm trying to get to 1.5 million subscribers. I would love to have you in my YouTube community. Now, right here is that interview with Roger Stone. Go check it out, and I will see you on the next video.